Mansa Kansan Musa. After Sakura, the king of Mali, in 1312, there appeared on the throne of Mali one of the most famous kings of medieval times in all Africa. This was Mansa Kansan Musa. Mansa Musa's fame spread far and wide outside Mali because of the lavish pilgrimage which he made to Mecca in the year 1324. Within his empire, his ability as a ruler coupled with his strong piety as a Muslim made him well liked by his people. Like Askia Muhammad of Songhai in the 16th century, he pleased the Muslim elements of his empire by making his government a truly Muslim regime, in which the old religion had little or no say. Since the state chroniclers and writers of the time were Muslims, they emphasized his achievements to the disadvantage of other rulers, like Sundiata, and in the case of Songhai of Sunni Ali II, who were no less able statesmen but who, out of concern for the welfare of the non-Muslim elements of their empire, did not place themselves completely on the side of Islam. Under Mansa Musa, the empire of Mali reached its peak and achieved a reputation of glory throughout the Sudan. His conquests included Tekrur in the west, Futa Jalon in the south, and Timbuktu and parts of Borgu in the east. The northern borders of the empire were pushed to as far north as Tagaza, the site famous for its salt deposits and mines. In 1324, Mansa Musa set off on his pilgrimage to Mecca. He was of course not the first West African to go to Mecca on pilgrimage. The pilgrimage or Hajj to Mecca has a key place in the practice of Islam and West African Muslims. Like those in any part of the world, were urged to attempt it, but none of the previous pilgrimages was as magnificent as Mansa Musa's, nor had any been as famous. He had in his entourage some 60,000 men, many of them soldiers. In addition, there were 500 slaves, each carrying a gold staff weighing nearly 2 kilos. There were also 80 camel loads of gold to meet the cost of the journey. No wonder that Mansa Musa became known as Mansa Musa the Magnificent, and was described by an Arab who was in Cairo during this grand pilgrimage as the most powerful, the richest, the most fortunate of kings. The pilgrimage was unique in another respect. Previous pilgrims had traveled direct to Mecca and the holy places of Arabia and had then come straight home. Mansa Musa began his pilgrimage by first touring his empire. He traveled westwards from Mali, passing through Ghana and Walata. On the way, he is said to have disciplined a white judge, probably a Berber, in the service of the emperor, for stealing 4,000 ducats, which should have been used for the royal journey. Musa and his party then traveled northeastwards to Tuat, where they suffered from an epidemic of jiggers. In Egypt, Mansa Musa gave away a large stock of his gold as presents to many persons and officers of the court of Cairo, the Egyptian capital, before journeying on to Mecca. The effect of this show of wealth was to advertise Mansa Musa. His fame was spread not only in Egypt, but also throughout other parts of the then known world, North Africa, the East, and Europe. Under Mansa Musa, Mali became friendly with Morocco, and Egypt exchanged ambassadors with both countries. Musa was so famous that nearly 200 years after his death, maps published in Europe showed Mali as Regnum Musa Mel de Genovia, meaning the Empire of Musa, Mali in Ghana. Mansa Musa returned from Mecca in 1326, passing through Gadames and Gayo. That is approximately 2 years after staying for pilgrimage in Mecca. He was accompanied by a number of Muslim scholars who came to settle in the empire. One of these scholars was As-Sahili, a poet and architect from Muslim Spain, who introduced into West Africa burnt brick architecture. On the instructions of Musa, he built the splendid Sankore Mosque in Timbuktu, a mosque at Gao and another in the capital, and a royal palace for the emperor. These buildings had the North African style of flat roofs with brick walls and were the first of their kind in West Africa. The Sankore Mosque soon became a center of higher learning in addition to being a place of religious worship.